British-Australian singer-songwriter Ruel has dropped a new song ahead of its release of his debut album. Someone Else's Problem was released late October, and it marks the second preview of his upcoming album following the release of another song, You Against Yourself, in August. And I got to speak to Ruel, and he told me how the pandemic helped him write this album and how he felt about canceling his Manila show, which was planned for March 2020, just when the pandemic started.
I was preparing for like one of my biggest tours, like, you know, in Asia. It was, I was so heartbroken that everything kind of came crumbling down. But yeah, it's weird. I've kind of now got this strange anti-badge of honor that I was like the first artist to cancel a tour because of COVID out of so many. But yeah, no, I was really, really upset that I couldn't get there. But, you know, it's 3 years since, and I'll be back.
I mean, that's right. It's definitely worth the wait. Aside from waiting for you to come and visit us here in the Philippines, of course, we're also waiting for your album. Now, take me back to the pandemic. I understand way back when, in 2020, when you were here, you were already preparing for your debut album. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I was. It was a crazy like start of the year. I remember I was like already touring. I was touring around Australia, and then after that I was planning to go to LA and Bali to like basically start the album and get most of the trunk done, and the Asia tour got cancelled, so I flew home from LA and yeah, just had to kind of do it myself a little bit. I was, you know, writing in my room, kind of made a little studio at home, and yeah, it was really hard to kind of be creative in that time. I don't know, everything was so uncertain. I didn't know when I was going to be able to travel again or see my fans or be able to tour. So I don't know, I found it really hard to get it started. And then yeah, ended up kind of having this huge realization, and then I kind of had a lot of like a big break from music, and I just kind of started to reconnect with my friends and family back home, and I don't know, had a little bit of a childhood I guess for a year, and then yeah, started working again, and, you know, wrote like basically 4 albums worth of songs that, you know, I'm really, really proud of. And now I've finished the final version, and I'm really, really happy. I'm finally at the end.
What did you discover about yourself? I mean, during the pandemic, what was it about your songwriting style that made you realize that, oh my gosh?
I don't know. I think I started listening to, you know, new music that I hadn't really delved into, like kind of that 90s folky rock sort of singer-songwriter stuff, and that kind of made me feel a whole different new emotion. So when I started to go into the studio by myself, I just started writing stuff like that. I feel like a lot better of a writer doing that sort of music. I feel like I was putting a lot more kind of effort, I swear, like into lyrics and chords and melodies, and just kind of making everything just a little bit more interesting. So that was really, really amazing for me.
What did you figure out about yourself, and where do you want to go in terms of your music?
Yeah, I think I just figured out that I really like really sad songs. That was one of the main things that I love ballads, and I love kind of songs that just make you feel the most of any emotion, like, and yeah, I love more kind of live recorded sort of sounds, and you know, the kind of folk world of acoustic guitars and you know, laid back drums, and kind of, you know, just less is more, I suppose.
You said that you are most proud of this album. It is so you.
Yes.
Tell me, is there like a theme from all the 100 songs that you've written, and how were you able to choose? How many songs? 10 or so?
Yeah, yeah, there's basically, yeah, I had to cut down from about 200 songs to like 25, and then I cut down another 10 or so. So
it's like a Miss Universe.
Yeah, honestly, it was just like it kept having to cull down. So yeah, it was really difficult to do that. It was really hard to kind of get down to it. But yeah, I was just kind of picking the songs that felt the best in the theme and the concept, obviously, which I won't go into too much now. I don't really want to give it away without the context of the album. But yeah, there's definitely kind of overarching theme that all the songs kind of fit into. So that's kind of what made it easier to pick.
You already put out some. You have You Against Yourself,
Yeah.
which is like, empowering somebody that, you can make it. We're here for you. And then you come up this wonderful song of yours, Someone Else's Problem. I so love.
Thank
You're
you.
all going through this during the pandemic. I mean, all of these
Uh,
experiences.
kind of. I mean, I was kind of looking back at, what's also happened previously, and I don't know. I think those songs in particular were kind of the last couple songs I wrote for the album, just because I wanted to make something that was just going to be a little bit more fun live, and that's what I wanted to come out the gates with for the album. I wanted the singles to just be really fun to play live. So when I start touring again, those are the people that those are the ones people are familiar with and can kind of have a dance to. And yeah, You Against Yourself was kind of me just trying to like make the most up-tempo song as possible, but still kind of make it cool and make it me, which was really hard. And then Someone Else's Problem, I was like, okay, let's do something a bit more fun, like lyrically, and do something a little bit sassy or just like, tongue in cheek a little bit, which I had never done before. So that was kind of the inspiration behind them. I think the actual concept of Someone Else's Problem, of just like, being that euphoric feeling of having someone out of your life that was bringing you down, I thought was just interesting to talk about. I don't know, it was just just the feeling I could relate to. So yeah, that was fun to write.
That being said, are you going to release a song before your album?
I think so, yeah. I think I got another few songs in the locker before the album comes out. Yeah, I just want to I don't want to give too much away, because a lot of the time as well, I've done that before. I've put out like 4 singles and then the EP comes out and there's like only 2 more new songs. And everyone's like, oh, okay. The 2 singles that I put out and also 2021 and 2022 were Let the Grass Grow and Growing Up Is. And I was thinking about putting them on the album, but then at the same time I was like, no, I'm gonna keep them in their own world. They can be their own little kind of passing through single. And yeah, the album is, and also I feel like they didn't really fit in the world of the album that it is now. So yeah, there's only 2 songs out for the album, and yeah, there'll probably be a couple more.
Possibly things that you would still like to achieve, or you still like to do. I mean, I know it's only 5 years. I mean, there's a lot of years left in you, but possible goals, maybe milestones that you would like to tick off as you go through your career.
I never really make goals for myself, or have achievements that I need to hit, because I feel like that kind of always freaks me out in my career. Like as soon as I kind of have something that I need to hit, like the pressure kind of takes over and I stop actually being productive. It's weird. I've never been one for goals. Yeah, I don't know if I had to say anything, I'd love to headline a big festival overseas, like a Lollapalooza or I don't know, Summer Sonic, or a Coachella. Maybe not Coachella, but something like that. I would love to get, because I think those sorts of moments, those sorts of shows are pretty life changing.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with me. We wish you all
Thank
the
you.
best, and we do hope that you do get to come to Manila. Do let us know once you're here, and
I
we'll
will.
have you in the studio.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet
All
you.
right. All the best.